people are really gonna watch this?
They ain't got nothing else to do.
Right?
Word.
I ain't going on social media talking shit about TDS radio. I know that much.
My man, Coach Block.
What's up, cuz? How we living?
You're rocking with TDS Radio.
Get it, Kim. All right. She got a vision, and she wants us to execute this vision.
Ooh, man. That's what TDS is about today.
Ken and Kim are the two dopest siblings that I know.
All right, man. You ready?
Am I ready? Are they ready?
Nigga.
What's up? It's your man, Coach Block, one half of TDS Radio. What's up, fam? I see you already in there. We on time. Feel good, feel great. So, Fab, Kim, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I
right.
don't have any complaints right now. What
Great.
about yourself, my guy?
None at this current time, but that's always up to change. So yeah, today was a good day. Got my walk in.
Oh, is that someone new? Miss Loretta Harris Webb?
Oh, Webb to Block. Yes, that's one of our assistant principals at Corneth Holders High School.
Well, hello, sugar.
So
How you
I am
doing?
going to have to watch my mouth because I don't want to get in trouble.
Miss Webb, we need all of the things to make this work. So please be very lenient on us today. Appreciate you. Thank you, sis.
But no, what's up? I appreciate you tuning in. But today was a good day, man. I got my walks in, I got my steps in, all that good stuff. 2 miles every day for the whole summer. I'm going on vacation on Saturday. I'm still gonna do it. So, Saturday and Sunday, still gonna get it in.
In the sand?
Nah, man. Nah. I'm saying I ain't Rocky. Nah, we're gonna go ahead and walk on this street.
Okay, understandable.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna get it in.
See if that sand is hot.
Yeah, nah. What does that look like? Then I slip and fall. Now I got sand in places that sand ain't supposed to be. Why would I set myself up for that?
Oh, well, there's an idea. She said, I need to join the challenge. Do you want to make that a TDS challenge?
We can. 2 miles, no less than 2 miles a day. However you get it.
Ooh.
But you would be surprised how quickly a mile goes if you just went to go shopping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Just 2 miles a day, just consciously 2 miles a day. And I promise you it's making a difference. I started out just randomly walking on Monday. And you time yourself? Nope. Today is Thursday, and I have cut my time down by 3 minutes.
Okay.
So just get moving.
All right.
That's all I'm on.
Well, Miss Webb, if you join the challenge, I will do it too. Can't say I'll go outside. I'll go on a treadmill.
Treadmill is cheating.
Whatever. It's getting done.
Treadmill
is getting done.
But yeah, so we also are going to have a guest today. We're going to be indulging more into the mental health, men's mental health month. So we have a young lady who deals with who deals with men in vulnerable spaces.
Okay.
And
awesome.
creates the safe space for them to be able to communicate. So she'll be coming in at the 7 o'clock hour, and we'll get the opportunity to talk to her about all the good stuff that she brings to the table for us men who clearly are not taking care of ourselves in the way that we're supposed to.
Facts.
And if you did not catch yesterday, which was a very, very, very good show, please go to our YouTube channel and check out yesterday's show with the healing consultant, Varna Spencer, and also James Perkins, who is my therapist as well. Yes, I have a therapist. Others should have one too. What's that supposed to mean?
Yay. I mean, therapy. It's a good thing. I can't afford therapy right now.
Well, a large part of keeping my great job at Corneth Holders High School as a state employee,
Yes.
you get free healthcare. Well, not free healthcare, but for your therapy and all that stuff.
Which is dope.
Your mental health things.
And it should be like that across the board for everybody.
It's free. So when I found out it was free, that's when I was like, so let's go every week.
Mm-hmm.
And it was helping me.
Mhm.
It is helping me, because I promise you, there are some things that I know that if I did not have these tools, that I would probably have snapped by now.
Absolutely.
Especially
and CBD by the Healing Consultant.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's another one. If you need CBD for balance, please get it. healingconsultant.com. And it's not something that you have to worry about as far as am I going to pass the test. There's no THC. This is just simply the hemp plant and the properties that help you with that. So don't worry about it. You'll be fine. All right. Well, let's just jump into the show, because we got to move, because we're going to have a guest.
Oh, yeah.
And we got to do the messy letter and all that stuff.
Yes.
So for those, Ms. Webb, especially you, for those who have never experienced the messy letter, you might want to stay. Messy letter is pretty fun. Yes, mental health should be free for everyone. I agree. I agree.
And the topic for our messy letter tonight will be "My baby mama won't go away."
Somebody in my diary? Y'all told me to journal. Now you want to put my business in a messy letter? Not cool. Just joking. Just joking. I don't want no problems from nobody.
I was about to say,
Don't want no problems. Okay. Anyway, birthdays. Let's do it. An old friend of mine from Holy Rosary days, Lacey Shannon. Today is Lacey's birthday.
Happy
Is 43
birthday,
years
Lacey.
old. Keith Hadley Sr. is 36 years old. Derek Jenks is 46 years old. And my brother in love, Mr. Jeff Clark, is celebrating
Jeff, happy
his
birthday.
30th birthday today.
He just turned 30.
I think so. Is that what his dad posted? Let me make sure, because I could
He's
be
just
lying.
a baby.
Let me see. Jeff Clark Sr. posted. Yes, he just turns 30 today.
Oh, sugar, you're just a baby.
Yeah, his beard just started connecting. So, with that being said, if anybody has any other brothers, Jesus Christ,
Birthday shout outs.
anybody have any birthday shout outs, or you know anybody with birthday shout outs, please let us know, because we will make sure that we can shout them out. Make sure that happens for you. All right. So throughout the show, if you know anybody whose birthday pops up into your mind, hit us up. We'll shoot them out. All right. Here we go.
Y'all ready? Happy birthday to you. Hey. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Hey. Happy birthday to you. Well, you look good. You look good. You look fine. You look fine. We hope you have a good time. Happy birthday to you. Hey. Happy birthday to you.
And as the saying goes, continue to live your life in a way that makes every day worth celebrating from the SIDS.
Hey, now.
Us. Oh, and also, please, pretty please with sugar on top, listen to TDS Radio at tdsradio.com, because we have a whole radio station with music and commercials and all that good stuff. And also, if you have a business and would like to put your business on TDS Radio, the actual radio show, or TDS Radio, the actual podcast, let us know. We will definitely take care of all of your marketing needs. With that being said, let's slide into some silliness, because I'm sure it's silly, with entertainment news with Sofab Kim. Before we get into entertainment news, if you can do me a favor real quick, for those who are watching, if you could just hit that like button and even smash that share button, we greatly appreciate you. It puts us in the algorithm out there in the world.
Thank you, guys.
Because we like to get paid for this. We need money.
So it takes a lot to do this. So, and then we never know who might benefit from the information. So,
And we need money. Let's not forget about that.
yes, singing the birthday song. Happy birthday.
I found that
to
dude. I need to
you.
get that guy to just go ahead on and just come on the show one good time. All right.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. Who are we starting with first with?
So this is actually some important news.
Uh-oh.
And this is a case that I had been following for some time. I'm not sure if you
Young
all
Thug.
No,
Oh,
I don't give
all
a
right.
damn about that. This is a little bit more important than that because this is historic news. So I don't know if you guys have been following the Oklahoma Supreme Court case. Well, if you haven't, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it. Essentially, the Oklahoma Supreme Court, they rejected the reparations lawsuit that was held by the last Tulsa race massacre survivors. So if you have or have not been following it, there's only 2 survivors. The third just passed away last year, but they were in a fight to try to get reparations from the Tulsa, the Black Wall Street and the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing, if you can remember that as well. Well, unfortunately, the fight has come to an end, at least for this point, because they dismissed it. And they dismissed the reparations lawsuit on Wednesday by the filed survivors. And the suit initiated in 2020. So like I said, it's been some time. We're talking about 4 years. And they were seeking compensation for an estimated 300 Black Americans killed when a white mob destroyed the Tulsa Greenwood neighborhood, as we may or may not know about that incident. Now, this says that the lawsuit was brought under Oklahoma's public nuance law, arguing that the destruction of the Black Wall Street continues to impact the community today. As we all know, it does. Defendants included the Tulsa County Sheriff, County Commissioners, and the Oklahoma Military Department. Now, the court ruled that while the grievances were legitimate, they did not find the public nuance statute. They did not fit the public nuance statute. This decision upheld a lower court ruling from last July, which stated that a historical event connection does not grant unlimited rights to seek compensation. Crazy, right?
Is that these people?
Yes. That's one of the survivors. One. But it's insane because why are we not entitled to reparations?
Well, no. And I'm not being funny. I'm being dead serious. We gave y'all money for this COVID. We ain't got no more money to give y'all. America, I watched this whole, and for me to watch a documentary must be pretty, I can't even remember. It just, the documentary was something about debt. And it was saying that even though we make our own money, we are so far in debt that we don't have money to really give anywhere,
and have been for a long time.
Yeah, like our culture is in serious debt as far as just America. And I don't see them giving anybody who looks like this just due. Because if you could honestly look at that woman and see and look at her and know where she's come from and the trials that she has had since being descendants of this horrific event, that means that you would now be admitting to the fact that this happened and that more people and more families are owed money. And
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, they're not going to look those people in their eye and say, we're sorry. Then fulfill the promise of reparations for whatever happened. And it's terrible because we all know it happened. And
it was detrimental to the community.
It's super detrimental to every time we get up, somebody comes with some bull crap.
I mean, there was, and they're trying to reestablish a Black Wall Street here in Durham. But anytime that seems to become something where you're seeing affluent Black people, running their own businesses, putting money back into their community, it's a problem. So like you said, unfortunately, this doesn't seem like it's a reality for us, especially anytime soon. And it's sad to see that, especially when you see, survivors such as this who are elderly, 102, I think one was 108, and you've been fighting this long, and then it's just like, no, it's
not gonna happen.
But we will allocate funds to other things.
But because then it opens up a slippery slope of other things that will then play a role. You get what I'm saying? Because there are people who are now there are people who are living on land that belongs to the slaves, because in wills it was written that certain pieces of land in this country was supposed to go to slaves. it would start a slippery slope.
Mhm.
Can't see our Congress or anybody doing anything with this, and it's unfortunate.
It is. And speaking of land, sidebar, as you may or may not have remembered, y'all, when I mentioned that I am tracking down our ancestry because I have no idea what the hell our family consists of and who they are, and our stops for me at grandparents. So now I'm finding out who our great grandparents and all stuff like that are, and a lot of them own land. So then now the question is, who has that land and what happened?
Well, there's deeds, so you can always track that down. You can track down once you got the original owner. You can start tracking down who they sold things to and who has taken things. Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah,
but we'll have to
don't let me find out. I'm selling it all.
Shut up. Well, I'll let you know. It's getting pretty deep.
Maybe you shouldn't. I'm like, that's mine. We'll just leave it there.
Yeah, we're going to leave it right there.
That's mine.
We are going to
We lived on this land for I don't give a damn. That's mine. You going to really knock down this house? You got until the end of the month.
We're going to keep it moving.
That's mine's with a Z. Get off my damn land.
And it's all in North Carolina.
My point.
Yeah, which is
give
crazy.
me my land.
We are going to keep moving.
Give me my goddamn land.
I opened up a door that I should not.
My grandmother lives in that house. Take her with you. My goddamn grandmother lived in that house for 50-something years. Take her with you. That's
some shit.
That's mine's. I want it all. You don't tell me that. Don't tell me no shit.
I'd be damn. I be like, now Graham got to get kicked out.
Graham's got to go. Now. That's mine.
And with the cost of living, bitch, get out.
Yeah, Graham's, you're done. Get your grandma and all that stinky furniture and that she got in there. Get it out. Wheel it out now. That's mine. Wheel it out. I swear to God. I swear you think I'm playing.
I know you're not playing.
Hey, let me holler at you real quick. Graham, yeah, that you live here? Yeah, you gotta go. ASAP. You got somebody you can call? Get them on the phone.
Why they always say that? You got somebody you can call? No, nigga.
You got somebody. You got somebody you can call? Well, you don't? Oh, that's unfortunate. Sit in that wheelchair for me real quick. Back her ass right out of that door. Have a seat. real quick. We're gonna get somebody here to help you. This is mine. I want it all.
I'm not. If I come across that, I'm not even going
to tell me. Yo, let me holler at you real quick. Hey, Graham, somebody live with you? No? Can you call somebody? No? All right. Could you have a seat for me, please, in that wheelchair? Yep. All right. Let's wheel you out here. This is mine. Would you like me to pack you a bag? Because all this shit's gone. This is mine. I'm knocking it over tomorrow.
Anyway, we are going to keep moving.
I'm sorry.
We're going to keep moving.
No, I'm not lying.
No.
Nope.
Y'all don't feed into this.
I promise you I ain't lying.
Don't feed into this.
Go ahead and back up. Hey, Granny, we gotta go.
Don't feed into this, y'all.
You gotta go.
Don't do that.
Real story, pause, real story. And it's not even rude. When they started gentrifying in Pittsburgh, they told this elderly lady, you need to move. She did not want to sell her home. Mm-hmm. They told her, you need to move. We need this lot. You don't own the land, you own the house. Somebody sold us this land, and she wanted to be one of those old, I lived here since Martin Luther King marched. I ain't going no goddamn where. They said, word.
Not shaking.
They said, now I'm going to shake when I'm old.
Exactly.
I'm already shaking. But she didn't want to move. So they have people watching you. Like, so when your car gets repossessed, there's things called spotters. You can go look. These people make very good money.
They do?
I seen on the thing I seen on that line. This was yesterday. A spotter job for $42,000 a year. All you do is just basically be a snitch.
That's not enough.
But I'm saying, like, as a second job.
Oh yeah, as a second job. Yeah,
because you don't do it every day. You just do it when something comes up.
How do you apply
so LinkedIn. So
okay.
She didn't own the land. She owned the house, and I ain't moving no damn where. She on the news. They can't make me leave my house. Old. They said, all right. She took her ass to the grocery store. When she came back, that house was knocked down to rubble. Because I'm sure they offered her a handsome sum for that house. And I was here when the first brick was built on this house. I ain't going nowhere. Man, everything around you is gone. Now you came home and they knocked your shit down. Now you could have had money. Now go figure it out. Now you tell me that we got land. Yo, let me holler at you right quick. Pack this shit up.
Can we continue?
Sorry. That's a real story. Y'all can look it up. That story in Pittsburgh.
I'm very
familiar with How could you knock down somebody's crib when they go to the grocery store? You come back and your shit is rubble? Oh, it's a cold world, baby.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I do not want to laugh at that woman's misfortune.
Cold, then she got back on the news. I can't believe they did this with the rubble in the background.
Let's move on. Why are we laughing at this?
You started strong. You started Rosa Parks strong. I'm not moving nowhere. God damn it. I'm not my house. 2 hours later, I can't believe they did. I can't believe they did this. They told your black ass to get off that land.
Can we move on?
Okay,
please?
I'm sorry.
Please
get off the land.
Let's move on. Okay. So Tyla.
They told you get off that damn land.
What look, they sold grandma's house for yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Insane.
Yeah.
Whew, that's a different story.
Your ass off. Could you imagine that though? You went to the store to get groceries.
And my house is gone.
She's talking, well, see, I got them taters. Take me down the street. They got that on sale. I'm gonna go ahead and make dinner. You come home and your shit is rubble. And the news is waiting for you because they knew the shit was gonna happen. So now how do you feel? I can't believe what she said. I can't believe they would do this to me. Then you know how the news is. They gave several summonses about knocking down the house, and she's still sitting there in the background, mad with rubble. Like,
we are moving on, Tyla.
Oh, ain't nothing up but the toilet. God, damn, people are cold. This
Tyla.
is true. I wish I could find a picture of her like in the row. Why I don't know why her hand was like this. Who?
Responsible for water.
Oh, we talking about her?
Yes, who was recently on The Breakfast Club, and she was asked to address some of the comments
her, right?
about her.
Put me on these.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, wasn't it?
Well, she was asked questions regarding her nationality, and she was on The Breakfast Club, and you know, Charlemagne does what Charlemagne typically does, where he's typically trying to ask a question that everyone wants to know, because there were some comments made from her, yes, where she said that she's not black, she's colored.
Oh Lord.
Yes. So Charlemagne,
steady dancing to it. Make me swing. Make me she ain't black.
She was on The Breakfast Club. Charlemagne had this to say, and this was the exchange
that they be having about your identity as a South African colored person. What does that even mean?
Can we not, por favor?
Oh, I like that. We keeping that in the interview too.
Shut up, man.
I like when they talk from the back and say we can't. I like that.
So, needless to say, her publicist who was there with her did not want her to answer that because there was already some backlash regarding her statements. So they went ahead and skipped past it. But she had this to say. She took to Instagram and said this: "You guys never denied my blackness. I don't know where that came from. I'm mixed with Black, Zulu, Irish, Indian, and colored. In South Africa, I would be classified as a colored woman. In other places, I would be classified as a Black woman. Race is classified differently in different parts of the world. I don't expect to be identified as colored outside of South Africa by anyone not comfortable doing so because I understand the weight of that word outside of South Africa. But to close this conversation, I'm both colored in South Africa and a Black woman. As a woman from the culture, it's and not or. With that being said, Asambe." Are you okay with that response?
Whatever keeps her check coming, because that's what she did right there. Let's make everybody happy. I'm still Black. Please keep doing TikToks to my song.
Pretty much. It was the most PC answer that you can give. And then
I'm still Black. Just don't stop listening to my song. Because what other song does she have?
She has a couple songs. Yeah.
Okay.
One's called Masterpiece. It just, or Art Masterpiece, something like that. It sounds just like water. It literally does.
She doesn't sound talented. Did you listen to the interview? She sounds like Lumi D.
Oh.
Remember Lumi D?
But her song is still, people still play it.
What, Lumi D?
Yes.
You know why they play it? Because of the Busta Rhymes beat that's attached to it. Cut the beat and let Lumi go. And you'd be like,
Well, no, I never said she could sing.
Just like this water. This water song is trash besides the beat. Trash. And when she was in her interview, that's why Charlamagne did what he did. That was one of the driest interviews ever.
She doesn't have much personality. People believe that she's also an industry plant.
She could be an industry
plant. But I'm not going to get on
plant.
that. Okay, let's move on before you go there. So before we go back to that foolishness, let's talk about this foolishness. Now, this guy has always been unproblematic, but for whatever reason, he decided, well, not for whatever reason, he's friends with Chris Rock. Rob Schneider. Now, you may remember him in a lot of Adam Sandler movies. He was in The Hot Chick. He was in The Waterboy and a few others. But typically when you see Adam Sandler, you see Rob Schneider. Well, he was recently being interviewed and he had a few things to say about Will Smith, and they weren't in the best light. So this is what he had to say.
Smith is a twat.
Oh, I liked him.
Will Smith has been hiding the fact of who he really is, and it was exposed that night. He's really an asshole. But I wasn't allowed to say anything at that time because we were part of the committee.
Right.
I was supposed to punish him.
And how do you punish him?
Wow, wait. Just back up a second. Hang on.
I want to know
Will
what the punishment
Smith is like, for me, when I met him, right, I always say.
Like the nicest, most wonderful. He's a liar. Complete, utter fraud. Will is a douchebag, and that's something that you can't. The thing is, that's how politically correct the Academy is.
Right.
That they were so cowardly. Because if I would have done that, they would have been hauled out to prison. But because they were so worried about being, racist, violence is what it is, and what the color of your skin or your religion doesn't matter.
Sure.
If you commit a crime in front of other people, you get hauled out of there.
Yeah, but didn't you also sort of think, he's standing up for his missus? You didn't like that?
It doesn't matter. You can't hit another dude.
So, if you don't know, Rob Schneider and Chris Rock are really close together. They're good friends from, the SNL days and just from touring and doing stand-up and things like that. So it made sense for why he took the stance that he did. My thing is just, why is my name coming out of your mouth now? Especially after it's been some time since this whole slap. Why didn't you say it then as opposed to now?
Because Bad Boys is out. So then now Will's promo for Bad Boys has erased the fact that you did assault somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it was. And he does have a valid point. If it was a what is he, like a D-list celebrity now? What is he? He's not A. He's definitely not B. So we're talking that C minus, C plus range.
We'll say C.
So he's right. He would have been arrested and hauled off, and it'd have been a bigger story. And also, because he looks like this. So, I'm just saying. I'd be upset too.
Really?
He's not aging well.
He's not. He's not. But you know.
So I mean, once again, this is another one of those things where it's like, hi, why do we care? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why we care, Rob.
I don't either.
And holding Will accountable now is over. That time has passed.
Yeah.
And Will might be an asshole. I mean, Aunt Viv already said that.
Mm-hmm.
The real Aunt Viv said he was an asshole. So we care for what? I just want to see a good movie, Rob. You haven't put out one in quite some time.
Yikes.
And everybody needs to check the clear. Once again, you can get pretty much anybody to say anything if you pay them the right amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Now that he said that, other people are going to want to know, well, why do you feel like Will's an asshole? So then now somebody's going to pay him for an interview.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was smart. Get your coins. Who can we call an asshole so that we can get paid?
Moving on.
I got a couple.
Moving on to some other foolishness.
Okay.
While we're on the subject of comedians, now our good sis Tiffany Haddish. I don't know where this came from or why it's a thing, but she decided to drop some music. Now I don't know if you guys have heard it, but we actually have a clip of the song. So let's just go ahead and roll it.
Oh, man.
But not too long.
We're seriously
not too long.
rolling this?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I want you to.
This, I just can't believe you. This can't be you, girl. You better fix this. You can't go on. You can't go one more day this way.
Will Woman Up be a part of your playlist?
You know what? The hell with it. Eddie Murphy did. I want to do money on a time party, and then he did that weird ass song with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I forgot what
where they was just floating in the sky. And so, you know what? Roll with it. I don't have no problem with it. I promise you I don't.
Okay, I guess it sucks to me, but you know what? Hey, it might be a TikTok sort of thing.
Oh, here we go again.
What's wrong?
Comments aren't showing.
Oh, sorry guys.
I'll get them.
We're not ignoring you.
No, I'll get them right here.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, who cares? Like, at the end of the day, rock out.
I guess.
I mean, because here's the thing: you're a comedian. So if you want me to take you seriously as an artist, it's like, But if that's a joke, it's like that fits.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'm not feeling it, but I do think that she's wanting people to take her seriously.
In that, well, everybody feels like her voice is horrible. No one right now at this current time is saying anything positive about this woman in the chat. So yeah.
And while we are on the topic of entertainers and music and things like that, Hov decided to make an appearance, which was extremely random because it was at a Tom Brady event where he is being inducted in the the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they decided to bring Hov along so he could perform his song Public Service Announcement. I guess the two made sense, but here's a clip. So one of the things that people had to say was like the crowd was not really that engaged.
Nobody was paying attention to that shit. Nobody wants to see you up there with that for Tom Brady.
Is there a connection between the two? Like,
GOAT, greatest of all time type stuff. I promise you, nobody in that audience of red voters cared about him. That was once again a check.
Yeah, definitely a check.
So somebody paid him to go up there and look crazy at his ripe age of forever to look stupid in front of these people who are not even paying you no mind.
No.
Once again, as long as the check hits, nobody cares. And clearly the check hit. To get Jay-Z out to do that, you had to pay some money.
Yeah.
So
like, okay, all right. That was the most random thing ever. But I
Super.
guess if that's what makes, your grit smooth, then let's go for it. But
I don't even think that makes your grit smooth. That's crazy. Nobody was paying you any mind.
No one.
Like it was awkward. Like
It was a whole Method Man situation.
Worse. Because they weren't even looking at the stage. Everybody's like, who is this? Oh. Nobody cared.
No. So Chicka, but I guess he got his money, so he don't give a damn. Whatever.
Word.
He said, I'll perform this for myself and go back home to my children. And while we're on the topic of performances, I actually have a question for you. So, as you may or may not know, Chris Brown does meet and greets for his tour. So he's on tour currently with his 11/11 tour, and his meet and greets have gone viral just based off the simple fact that he gives people what it is that they're paying for. Like, if you're going to pay $1,000, I'm going to pose with you any sort of way that you possibly want because you've paid this amount of money to meet me and take a picture with me. So we actually have a photo of a young lady who recently attended one of his concerts, and she took a photo with Chris Brown. Now, before I tell you what happened after this photo, I want us all to take a look at it. So here's a photo.
Yeah.
You see anything wrong with it?
I mean, it's like a 90s prom picture.
Okay. Yeah, definitely given that. Well, this young lady went viral because she said shortly after she had the meet and greet with him and had the picture and posted it, her boyfriend broke up with her because he felt as though this was extremely disrespectful and that Chris Brown should have never gotten that close to her. Now, you, as a man in a relationship, if your significant other went to a Chris Brown concert, took this photo, and posted it, would you break up?
In the great words of R. Kelly, I wish you would.
Are you serious?
You paid for that. You paid a lot of money for that. I wish you would, because you already paid for tickets to go to the show.
Yes.
So how much money we giving him?
What if it was her money?
How much money we giving him? Like, I'm not mad about the picture. I'm mad about it costs $1,000 a pop.
No. He wasn't mad about the money. He was mad about the picture.
Well, he's mad about the wrong shit. Because this cookout picture can happen anywhere. What are you talking about?
Cookout.
You know how many cookouts she done posed with somebody looking like this, but didn't pay $1,000? I'm mad at how much you paid. It cost you $1,000, and it probably cost you $4 or more for the show. So we gave this Negro $1,400 in a weekend. Yeah, all right.
You be mad at me because I'm gonna tell you right now, I probably would have paid it.
Why for a picture though?
It's Chris Brown.
Nah.
And then you can literally whatever you want to do, however you want to joke and have your picture. I think it's a cool idea. Is it a lot? But I mean, it is what it is. It's Chris Brown. But I thought it was ridiculous that this guy broke up with her over this. Like, really?
Well, some people said he just needed a reason to leave, and then some people are saying like I'd be mad at the money too. See, to me, I'm looking at I'm not giving this dude $1,400 in a weekend, and that's on the low end, saying a ticket at $400. Nah, man, come on, what are we doing?
Yeah, well, like I said, I can see if it was a money issue, especially if we're living together, it's joint accounts or whatever. If it's her money, you can't get mad if that's what you choose to do with your money. But if we're living together, we got bills and all stuff like that. Communicate with.
We're not living together, and you spent $1,400 for that prom picture. Then yeah, I got other things to do. I don't think I wouldn't be happy about it. And it's not that I'm on the money side.
But if it's not your money, you still gonna be mad?
What are we talking about? I put it to you like this. I bet not ever hear nothing about no money. Ever. If we're gonna throw $1,400, $1,500, $1,600, and that's on the low end. A Chris Brown ticket, how much is a Chris Brown ticket? Can somebody Google that? How much is a Chris Brown ticket? Because at the end of the day, whatever that Chris Brown ticket is, plus $1,000 to see him, yeah, no. There would be at that point in time, we would have to. Am I stuck to the chair? I mean, I turned it, but yeah, nah, man. I don't know about breaking up, but it would definitely be like, what? That's weird to me. That would be weird.
And you know what? You are entitled to your opinion. Now,
I see a lot of people doing it.
Yeah. To me, if it's your money and it doesn't put you in any sort of financial constraints, because a lot of people were broke after the whole Beyonce concert and was doing foolish shit just to go. Now, to me, that is stupid. But if you have the money and this is something that you want to do, I'm not mad at you.
You paid $1,000. Okay, so then maybe also do something. At least let me be mad because you kissed them for $1,000. But you paid for this. What was the shot, glamour shot joint step back in the day?
And Olin Mills.
You paid $1,000 for that. Mm-hmm. At least put your leg on them or something.
Well, I guess maybe she thought she was being respectful to her boyfriend.
$1,000?
$1,000.
Ain't no way in hell. Mm-hmm. I'm mad at you for not doing more for your experience. You think I'm playing? Like, if you're going to spend it, then
I'm going balls to the motherfucking
there's no
wall.
way I'm going to be. If you came back and said, "Look, I met Chris Brown. How'd you get that picture?" Well, I paid $1,000, and you did that.
Because let me tell you, some of these chicks, they make sure.
With that, I Need a Soldier, Beyonce, Michelle outfit you got on.
Now you know what.
What in the 90s are we? What 2000s? That was early 2000s, wasn't it?
Yes.
Ain't that? Didn't Michelle had them and Beyonce had them same pants on?
Yes.
All right then. So then you spent the wrong money in the wrong place. I Need a Soldier pants on. You need not to go to the concert with them damn pants on. That's what the problem.
Would y'all break up with your significant other if they took a picture, not the money, if they took a picture with their celebrity and this was the pose? I just want to know.
Yeah,
because like I said,
you got them pants on making me look crazy. Now you on social media talking, I need a soldier.
It is not about the money. He was mad about the pose.
Well, what the hell was they supposed to do? Dap up?
I don't know.
Like, nigga. Hey, like they supposed to take their picture like this? Like how two niggas take their picture? What are they supposed to do? So she's going to take that picture. Yes. My problem is get some bang for your buck.
And
what type of...
Because let Method Man... Ooh.
You know how many people look like Chris Brown in the hood? You can get a Chris Brown lookalike to do that same pose for nothing. You know how... Chris Brown has a very familiar face in the hood. Oh my God. He does. Here we go. There are certain celebrities where you're like, you can see that in the hood. We all know a light-skinned brother like Chris Brown that can do backflips off of fences since he was little, knee high. We all do. And you paid $1,000 for that. He ain't dressed up. He got on just some chill gear, and you got on Beyonce's outfit from I Need a Soldier video, and you paid $1,000. What are we doing? What can I do? What stupid thing can we get people to pay for? Because we're trying too hard. We're trying to be professional. This dude is getting an additional $1,000 off of each one of these dummies to take this picture.
But it's Chris Brown.
Nah,
we're not Chris Brown.
It ain't even that. It's an additional $1,000. Like, it ain't even included in the ticket price. It's an additional $1,000.
It's Chris Brown.
I wonder how long it takes you to get that picture.
Oh, I don't know. And I don't even know.
And look at the backdrop. What is that?
It's the arena.
Looks like a goddamn hockey game is going on behind them. This looks like a picture of a couple headed into a game or a club or a bar. Oh, no, you want your picture for $5? Yeah. But this ain't $5. This is $1,000. Yeah. We're done, man. We're done.
Moving on.
We're done.
I'm more mad at him because I think that was a very childish thing to do.
Was
it? Yeah. What, you're breaking up with me because I took a picture with Chris Brown, and then you're my boyfriend. You're not my fiance. You're not my husband. So you don't have any control over my finances.
That part is dumb. But what's more dumb is, yes, those $5 club pics. That's what it looked like, and that's why I'm mad. Just let's not talk for 72 hours until I get unmad at what you look like in that picture. Then we can get back to it. Because That would be like taking a picture with Mickey Mouse or, whatever people, you're there, you're in the moment, take the picture, cool. But not like that. Who's next?
Moving on. So we have talked a lot about the documentary that was on ID regarding the Nickelodeon scandal with Dan
Correct.
Schneider and Brian Peck.
Yes.
Now, since this documentary, Quiet on the Set, has aired very, spaciously, we'll say, a lot of celebrities from the Nickelodeon era and from that cast have been speaking out. Now, most recently, it has been Kel and Ariana Grande, because Ariana Grande was in the documentary quite a lot, if you guys did not see it. And she was put in very suggestive situations, especially to be such a young girl. So she was recently on Penn Badgley's podcast. And if you're not familiar with who he is, he's the guy from You on Netflix, the guy that stalks people. And he was just asking her, or his team was asking her a little bit about like child stardom, but you can tell that they were kind of alluding to Nickelodeon. And this is what she had to say about child actors.
My relationship to it has and is currently and has been changing, and I'm reprocessing a lot of what the experience was like. I think that the environment needs to be made safer if kids are going to be acting, and I think there should be therapists. I think there should be parents allowed to be wherever they want to be, and I think not only on kids' sets. I think if anyone wants to do this, or music or anything, at the level of exposure that it means to be on TV or to do music with a major label or whatever, there should be in the contract something about therapy is mandatory twice a week or thrice a week or something like that.
So if you're not familiar, Ariana Grande was on Nickelodeon for a long time, from Victorious and, things like that. Then that's when she essentially got her career, where she became a solo act. But like I said, she was the one that was, and then she also did Sam and Cat. She was the one that was featured in the documentary where she was hanging over the bed, putting water on herself. She was, licking her feet and just very in uncomfortable situations that would be considered adult. And you can tell in that clip that she was being very careful about what she said, and trying to be as PC as possible. But the fact of just mentioning like, well, now we have to reprocess what happened because she was a child. Like, I believe Ariana was maybe 12 or 13 when all of this was going on. And then now that it's being brought to light and people were paying attention to these situations that you were put in, it would take a moment for you to be like, let me think about that. Because I probably should not have been doing that. And there probably should have been someone on set to protect us. But how did you feel about her answer?
PC, just say he did it. You know what I'm saying? At this point in time, everybody knows it. You just tap danced around it and didn't say like, yeah, it was wild. What do I need therapy for? What do I need therapist for 3 times a week? You see what I'm saying? I go to one once. You talking about kids need 3 times a week for what they experience? Nah, something happened. Who goes to therapy 3 times a week and they don't have some type of diagnosis?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so at this point in time, you just told us without telling us that, yeah, everything that everybody said happened. And yeah, that's whack.
So Kel Mitchell, who's been in the news a lot recently, he was on Keke Palmer's podcast, and he too spoke about an experience that he had with Dan Schneider on the set of All That.
Did he say this the first time?
What do you mean?
Did he say this the first time? Because didn't he get interviewed about this already with Shannon? No, Shannon didn't bring it up.
All right. The door, and he just took off, just yelling all this,
How old was you at the time?
Wild stuff. At this point, I'm 18, 19.
And he's working on All That and Kenan and Kel?
Well, no, he's working on all that.
Got it.
Right? And so he says this, bop. And so being from the Chi at this point and being now an adult at this point, I had a decision to make. You know what I mean? I was just like, okay, either we gonna fight or either I'm going to leave. And so that's what I did. I left the situation. Now, when I left, Now knowing tapes cost money, cameras cost money. Where's our star? Where did he go? I walked off set. You know what I mean? So, and I called my parents. I called my dad. My dad was like, if you felt, disrespected any type of way, do I need to fly out there? Being the man that I am now, I should have let them fly out there. But
so what do you think about those comments?
Something needs to happen to Dan.
Yeah. And that's what essentially is the general consensus. Like people were like, okay, so we're bringing so much attention to Diddy, but we're just letting Dan Schneider just slowly slide and fade to black while all these people are starting to speak up more and more.
But as adults, they have to band together to figure out what it is that they can do.
Right. Absolutely. I agree.
Because if you don't, then you can't ask me to be more vested as a fan than you are as the victim.
Mm-hmm.
And now we clearly see that all these people have been victimized.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being the case, you guys need to figure out what you guys can do to expose this problem or to help Hollywood with this problem, or, Universal Studios, wherever Nickelodeon was filmed at that time. You need to figure out what you can do to make sure nobody else is going through this. There has to be some sort of advocacy or something. But if you guys are just going to talk about it because this is the experience that you went through, then
what are we doing?
Let's talk about Caitlin Clark some more, I guess. Because this happened so long ago.
Yeah.
So now you guys are all bringing it up. But if you're bringing it up just to talk about it, I don't want to say we don't care, but there's nothing that anyone can do besides you guys, because you guys know how bad it was. All we can do is say, tell me more. But you guys actually know how bad it was. And so instead of running to these podcasts, let's figure out what we can do to actually hold Dan accountable, because Dan is still working.
Yeah.
And as long as those checks are depositing, it don't mean nothing.
Unless you want to come to this podcast, but we would ask the question. So
who, Dan?
No, not Dan.
Oh,
no, but I'm saying like the victims. Like you said, my question would be, so what's next? What is the next steps? What do you plan on doing?
Correct. I don't know. And that's the sad part. Like, it's a cover up for something. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point in time, what are we covering up? Let's go ahead and peel that scab off and let's get to work. But if you guys don't want to get to work, I hate to say it, and stop talking about it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like, because all it's going to do for some is continue the trauma that they already are living in. So then now, once we go into that social media thing, like you said, there's those mean people, those people who make videos of celebrities with AI faces having sex and stuff like that. So then now here comes all those mean people, because now all these buttons are being put out there about how you looked. And then now Ariana Grande, you might have to see all those videos again of what you were doing, because they're all out there. If you're not going to do something about it, shut up.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all. That's the only thing. And then I hate to sound rude, but we're all adults now. So the only thing y'all can do now, if there's statute of limitation of some of the things that was done, is help other kids not experience what you guys experienced. And if you're not going to do that, then definitely shut the hell up.
And then where were y'all at when this documentary was happening?
Not talking. But see, now people will pay you for these conversations. Now, I don't know about Kel and Kiki, but Ariana Grande, they're going to pay you for that now. That's going to cost you money for me to talk about that, right? Anybody want to pay me money to talk about some things? I got some things to talk about.
We have to switch gears.
We do. We have a guest. It's men's mental health month, and then we got to do some things for that.
Yes. So we have our messy letter coming up shortly, but first we have to switch gears.
Don't go nowhere, y'all. Like, we're gonna fix all this comment not seeing things either, because that's crazy.
You might leave the studio and come back.
That's what I'm gonna do. But I need y'all to just sit tight. We're gonna get our guest in, and then we're gonna do this messy letter, and then we're gonna talk about vulnerable spaces for men.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
It's TDS Radio, our voice, our culture.
Okay.
What's up? It's your man, Coach Block, and I'm still on mute. Now I'm unmuted. There
Yeah,
we
there
go.
we
What's
go.
up? It's
All
your man, Coach Block, one half of TDS Radio. And as you can see, to my left, to y'all right, we have a guest. And this guest is going to talk to us about some things about vulnerable spaces for men and also creating them, talking with them, things that you do. Things that you are currently doing. Didn't y'all just do that yesterday?
We did.
Exactly. So let's go into the bio and then we'll go from there.
All right. So this gorgeous doll that we have over here goes by the name Leanna. Now, she is a licensed clinical mental health clinician with 20 years of experience in mental health. Leanna started her career with the intention of dedicating herself to inspire more people of color to feel free and empowered to seek therapy without fearing rejection within their community. I know that's right. Leanna initially started her career as a family support case manager with the Missouri Division of Social Services and continues to work with individuals young and seasoned, families and couples to help build connections by teaching and educating the dynamics of grief, complicated grief, levels of intimacy and attachment issues. Oh, girl, you didn't stepped into my life and I don't like that. Not just yet. So please welcome to the show, Leanna.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming in. We've already been cutting up.
Yes.
I have. And I'm going to tell you, Kim, now I got some specialties I need you to go on and read too because they ain't ready for me yet.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on.
Hold on. I'm pulling back up now. We're going to make sure we're going to introduce you. We're going to introduce you right.
Because I'm going to tell you when you hear that, you're going to be like, shut your mouth. Like you.
Ooh, I like you.
I'm just saying they're not ready for me.
Come on, family. I'm here for your energy.
The additional information. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Here. Yes.
Where did I leave off?
No, it's a whole nother section.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Wait.
It's spicy.
Oh, okay. Leanna couples the treatment of grief, intimacy, and attachment with the misconceptions about each. Grief is not always a physical loss. Intimacy is often thought of as only the physical act of sex. Attachment is a learned connection to what we're taught in our youth. Hey, now, Leanna is not afraid to talk openly about these misconceptions because addictive behaviors, especially sex addiction. Leanna specializes in tough areas, sex, and men, and not the two equally. Boom.
Boom. Drop the mic.
Hey now.
All right. Well then.
Razzle dazzle. Hey now.
All right. Well then. How you want to do it? You want to go into just the messy letter a little bit?
Well, let her say hi to the people.
Okay, so hi to the people. Say hi to the people right there. That camera right there.
First of all, I am just loving how I look on screen.
Girl, aren't you serving? You're serving.
I might find. Oh. How y'all doing?
You're gonna have to see. You need to tell Katrina to make sure you on her show.
It's on. It's on, y'all. Yeah. No, thank you for real for introducing me.
I'm so happy to do it.
I love what I do. I love what I do. And I specialize honestly in working with men because it's a struggle for especially our Black men to come in to help and even ask for help, let alone to even step and meet with a therapist. So
correct.
My whole reason for being here, I want people to see a face, to see who's behind what they can do and how they can be treated. So
cool.
I'm excited for whatever comes up and who wants to ask me questions today.
All right. So first things first is we do this thing at the 7 o'clock hour, which, people tend to like. It's it's called the messy letter. And people send letters in, and most of the time they're anonymous, but there's some type of craziness towards their either relationship or something. So we're going to do this with you today. So as one of our guests, we're going to read the messy letter and then we're just going to go. Most of the time they have a question at the end. Most of the time. So hopefully this person has a question at the end that we can answer.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Notes. Let's do
All right.
Grab it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. It is time for the messy letter. Let's rock.
Okay. This one says, I have a question. What's the limit to women feeling mad about their baby daddy moving on? When a good guy gets tired of a woman's games and leaves her, why do they seem to never let it go? My problem is I left my estranged baby mom 8 years ago. My current wife checked her page to see pictures of my son. Just to find out my baby mom still posts about me. She still compares herself to whomever I'm dating, even my wife. She still talks about me. She still brings up details like the boxers I wore or the sex between us.
The ex?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure I'm on task.
Mhm. She is always watching my wife's story on social media. She's still trying to deny me rights to get to know my son and won't allow lawyers to establish my paternity. How exactly do I get her to move on? She had a problem getting over her exes, but something about me doing great in life has had her in wrath mode. She's even using alienating my son as a tool just to get under my skin, knowing he needs me. Does anyone have any idea on how to stop this? Again, she found a way to not allow me to establish paternity.
Paternity?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how did she do that?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, how does he know that's his baby if there's no paternity test?
Yeah. Now, I know a lot about the court with this. Now, that's my specialty in razzle dazzle. Been through it.
Yeah.
I am A5A of all this, baby. Now,
Agreed and
yeah, I am certified. Shit. I'm a certified paralegal with this.
He has a lot of questions in here.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
So the first one is, what's the limit to women feeling mad about their baby daddy moving on? And then the other one is, how exactly do I get her to move on? Because she keeps posting about their relationship and comparing herself to his wife and bringing up their sex life and the boxers he wore and things like that. And then the other one is, does anyone have any idea on how to stop this to where she's alienating him from his son?
So the going from the bottom up, alienating the son from him is pretty much we got to go to court.
Yeah.
But first thing they're going to ask you is to produce any sort of paternity information. Like we're going to have to find out about a birth certificate, or if you took a test, or any of this stuff, because we don't know if this is your child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the first thing I would suggest is establishing, is this your child, sir? Is this your child?
Yeah.
And then after that, you as a father have equal rights.
Right.
And that's why next week we have an attorney coming on that can explain the rights that fathers do have. You have equal rights. Now, whether or not you establish custody so that you can exercise those, it doesn't sound like you've done those steps. If you do those steps legally, there's nothing that she could do to you, because the time that you have established is there and it's a court document. So that part is easy. Figure out the paternity if the baby is yours. Then once you know that, then go to court and file for custody. Now that's going to be a road and it's going to cost you. So get ready for that. Ask me how I know. Just saying, bro. It's going to be a couple dollars.
How you know?
Yeah, it's going to be a couple dollars now. I'm only telling you from experience. I mean, but it's something that you have to do, and that part, that part you can handle on your own. And I hope more men exercise their rights as fathers and realize that you do have 50-50 custody. Now we're working our way up.
Unless
Did you want to add to that one?
You know what? I really am glad that you said you hope that men really work on this. I really, really ask that more men, ask questions and really, really seek a safe foundation and know who your real support system is. The court will fight for you and with you. And I think a lot of, especially our Black men, feel like they just can't, and they, they're taught that,
stay away.
Yeah, stay away. Mama's baby, papa's maybe. There's all these sayings that we in our own culture stay with. And it just makes a lot of our men feel less than, So it sounds like this man wants to be a father. That's the biggest thing. So you want to be a father, you want to be in your child's life, you fight for that. He's worth that. That child is worth that. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
So even though we're confused on this paternity situation, that's the first thing I implore him to do.
Yeah.
You know, prove that paternity and fight for his child.
I know that's right.
You might not get the answer you want.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because how many times has that happened?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you fight and then you're paying for this child only to find out later on that wasn't your child.
That wasn't,
Paul, not Paul.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's so many variables in it.
So, but I think that's where you start. You start there because this other stuff that y'all got going on, in my opinion, we can block people on social media.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We can block, and you can't control someone else's social media space, but you can block them. You know what I mean? So the question was, how do I get her to move on? Well, you can't get anyone to do anything. You specifically can. You can only take precautions and build boundaries around yourself and your family. But her, what can you do to her?
You can't. You know, and if I can kind of piggyback on that, you cannot help someone else's healing until you're healed.
Right.
And apparently you got your healing or whatever he needed, or he left that relationship to find better ground, unfortunately, right? And so the biggest thing is, when we move on, we can't have expectations of other people to move on. We can just really keep our space safe.
Exactly.
You know, so that's the biggest thing. So that question, how do I get her to move on? You can't get her to move on.
You can't. You can't.
And then don't bring your wife into this. And as the wife, don't get involved in that. You know, if I was wife, I would block her, because whatever she got going on, as long as it's not interfering with your relationship and your household, then we don't need to have gossip circles about, oh, well, did you see what she posted? Because then now your relationship is being centered around her and her actions.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Right.
And at some point, that's going to be all y'all talk about. Like, did you see what she posted today? That's messy. It's messy. We don't have time for that. And that's one thing, like, you know, when I was in a relationship where my significant other would vent to me about his ex-wife, I would tell him, all right, that's enough. I'm gonna give you your space, but I don't want to hear anymore, because at some point y'all was good because y'all had 5 kids, so it wasn't that bad. But I don't need to hear anymore. Let's focus on us. Right, you know? Right. So
I'm glad we had the mom we had, because my mom was not with that. You wasn't saying that when y'all was making it. I don't want to hear that. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I don't care how bad it is, because there was a moment it was good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And you was loving it
5 times. So let's not.
No, that wasn't me.
No,
5
not
times.
You. No, not
Whoa,
him. Not
whoa.
him. Not him.
It wasn't you.
Not 5.
Wasn't you.
Not 5. 2. Not 5.
Because I heard. We got to understand
that. Because people watch this. 5. He hiding kids?
No, not him.
No,
my ex.
No,
my nigga's traumatized.
Yeah. Whoa. No, not 5. 3. I got 3 total, but 2 from the past with the 2. Don't do it to me.
He was tricked.
Eyes got big. What?
Whoa, 5. Stop! Don't tell these type of lies. People watch this shit.
No, that was my ex, not him.
Whoa.
If we didn't know that,
we know now.
Sorry. Got hot around the collar. 5. I ain't got no more money. I'm tapped. We're writer. We're sorry. Author of the letter, we are sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but hey, it's reality.
So can I say something that's on my mind with this letter too?
Yeah.
First of all, I know your letter is serious, sir, and I know I'm a therapist and I'm supposed to be real formal all the time, but I can't stay all the way formal, because how do I get her to move on? You the one that she missed it.
I don't think he put it on her.
He did what he did. He did what he did.
Especially when she's talking about his draws online. Like, whoa.
I'm like, boy, what did you do?
Who talks about people's draws online?
What did he do? Okay, but that's disrespectful to the wife. I just had to say that. You know what I mean? Did you catch it?
I caught it.
Okay.
I caught it.
Just wanted to make sure.
There's a reason why a person can't move on.
Right. I'm just saying, you knew something was wrong when y'all were together, but you still just had to keep giving. Right. So sometimes you gotta know when to stop.
Okay. On it. Boom.
I ain't dealing with nobody's crazy ex. Go handle that.
Yeah. Yes.
I like that. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When I met my fiance, the one thing I did assure her was none of the issues from my past would be on her doorstep.
Mhm.
That's something that I assured her. Being a person who's coming into the situation with children,
Right.
I can't allow that to, fester in our home. So it
Right.
won't come to our doorstep unless it's an emergency for a child or something like that, of course. But as far as like drama, nah,
Yeah.
I got that handled. You will not experience that in 10 years, and she has not experienced
And that's how it should be.
It should be.
Mhm.
That's beautiful. So can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Because that was kind of one of the questions that I was about to ask.
Mhm.
And how healthy do you feel it is to move into a new relationship knowing that this is still happening?
If those loose ends are not tied, do not do it, because they're going to show up somewhere. Whatever that breakup was that you have not healed from will manifest itself somewhere. You cannot, like I said, you can't control the other person, but you can also let the other person know, like, what are we doing? This is we're done.
Right.
But if you specifically haven't, once again, we're talking about closing the tabs yesterday with my therapist, James Perkins. If you haven't closed those tabs and those tabs were kind of left open, or there was that gray area of misunderstanding that men tend to sometimes leave women in, this is why you're experiencing this. Because while you moved on, she was just left on red, like on your phone.
Right.
You didn't necessarily say, this is done. Pause. Relationship. You probably messed around, milled around, double dipped every now and again, and then said, I'm getting serious with her, and then left this tab open.
Right.
Right.
Because no woman wants to embarrass themselves online showing draws.
Facts.
When you said showing somebody's draws, you're invested.
Yes.
You going in.
Yeah.
She got a drawer.
And do.
I mean, I'm just saying.
You're invested. Like the things that he's talking about is somebody who is emotionally invested.
Yes.
This ain't even petty. I'm just trying to get, no, that person it's in here.
And that was going to be my question to both of you. Reading his letter,
Mhm.
I was coming up with maybe there's still some communication between the two
Absolutely.
of you, for her to feel like this and feel like she has to keep competing, with whomever. Now he said wife, but then also in the letter, he said other girls. So while you were with her, were you dating other women that caused this insecurity and all this craziness? And then it's just continuing because now you're finally in a relationship where I want to build something with this person.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, you didn't close this tab because of what habitually has been going on between the two of you.
Right.
That's what I see, but I'll let you answer.
So I'm gonna be honest. I'm a realist, and I like to give people real truth to their nonsense. Okay. So the letter in itself sounds messy. Let's call that out, right?
Right.
Because you say that you don't have a paternity test with this child. That's a big, confusing statement.
Correct.
To give us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Which lets me know that you haven't been about your business. You just haven't. And you brought up some good information. How do you go from this pause, right, and go over here without saying this close, right? And so when you're done, you're done. You handle your business. And I'm gonna be honest, I do believe that when you have a child, it is fair to get a paternity test.
Yes.
And not saying that you definitely doing something or anything like that, but it's okay to do that because we do know that the baby's mine. You saw it come out of me, but we don't know. And there's some safe measures that we need to take, especially as a man.
Right.
So I'm confused on this part. So that's the biggest thing. But I truly believe that if that part was taken care of, then we wouldn't have this part. But maybe we still would, because it does seem like there's some dipping and dabbing, right? You didn't close the door, and this woman that swept you off your feet, and you said, I'm marrying her, but you didn't close all these doors.
Right.
So I feel like the question
and actually
at hand is this a limit of time, and how do I get her to move on? You clean your mess up.
And like you said, how can she move on if there is a paternity question? You see what I'm saying? Like, so if there is a paternity question, you haven't even done things like, okay, let me establish visitation, and let me make sure, whatever child support, whether agreed or court appointed, none of that's handled. that's going to cause somebody to be like, let me tell you about his draws. Because I mean, from her standpoint, she's now left holding a child that may or may not be yours. Because we can't say it's yours because you are saying it, but then you ended the letter with paternity issues.
Yeah.
So now she's left with this child.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows how you left her and this child.
Mm-hmm.
But then you left and then you decided to start a whole new life and with a new child, correct?
Right. Well, no, I don't think
No.
he's
Just married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just married.
So you just married. So you live in the life and she over here with holding a child with loose ends.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get this response.
Mm-hmm.
There's the only way, as you said, the only way you can start to chip away at closing this chapter is to handle your business as a man.
Right.
Yeah.
And then now her doing these things would begin to look petty versus messy,
Mm-hmm.
because it looks like both of y'all are involved. Where if the letter was saying we established paternity, I've been to court, I'm fighting in court, she's not letting me see my son now.
I blocked her.
I've blocked her on my social media. These are now boxes that we can check to say, well, now, yeah, you might have a problem on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
That's not solely you. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But this problem, you're sharing it.
Yeah.
And can I get both of your opinion, especially as a therapist, on the wife? Now, when you find that the new significant other is engaging in things like this, do you feel like somewhere in their space they're lacking, or they need some sort of, reassurance or something? Because why would, if you've been chosen, you got the ring on your finger, we didn't went down the aisle, we did the blood work, everything, we're done, we're official, it's you and I forever, why are you still allowing this woman to come onto your platform to check your stuff? Like, why not block her instead of continuously going on and seeing what's happening and then reporting this back?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll let you answer first.
It just sounds like a lot of control issues.
Okay.
Let's be honest. It sounds like I want control. I can't
Let's
have
bring
control.
that a little closer to you. Nope. Yeah, there you go. Right there. Talk right over top of it.
I hope my voice sound good. Does it sound
Yes,
You
girl.
sound
Okay,
great. There you go.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. But honestly, it seems like there's a lot of things that are not safe in this relationship, because I'm not big on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see the need to look at other people's junk. Right. I try my best to put what I want on there, and I have my only my friends. I have my closed page. There's a way to make sure that things are safe, but some
Yeah,
people
because you
just
didn't accept my request.
Ooh, ooh, she said, I know. So I seen it and still said, mm-mm.
You
Yeah.
ain't
I
accept
gotta
my
pray.
request.
You know how you get out and people request, and I be like, Lord Jesus, give me some understanding.
Okay.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
hopefully after today,
But I
you
got
can
you.
accept my request.
I know, right?
I know.
Because I seen it today. I said, she still ain't accept my request.
I didn't even see it. Just, I know.
Because ain't no sense of lying, because I be forgetting when I lie. I do. That's the truth, Jesus. But yeah, don't give me a mic. I'm just saying. But I'm with you with the wife. I'm with, and I struggle with people who get in relationships based on all these things that are broken before the marriage. And you have to also ask the wife if you knew all this nonsense was going on, or did he hide it? So there's so many different things, right? So I don't want to put blame on the girlfriend, the wife, or the ex, the wife, or actually our writer. There's just things that some people just don't really have educational skills on. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but sometimes we're just ignorant of the facts of things. You know what I mean? And then we try to move on and we want better for ourselves. We still just haven't done the right things. We really haven't. So I almost feel kind of, I guess, empathetic to the situation a little bit, because we want to do better. We try to do better, but as a therapist, I want to get underneath what's all that about.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think that's the biggest thing. Why did she get in a marriage? And now you're still watching and allowing that stuff to come to you.
Right.
So it could be some, hey, I got him. You know how people get, people get messy. Well, I got him, and then they get the, all this. But did you really?
Right.
Hello.
Did you really?
Because he's, to me, I see it as he's still playing both sides.
I feel that way. I 100% feel that way.
And it's not fair
Yeah.
to the wife at all. Because if she's coming into the game and she's thinking that this is, this chapter has closed because you done walked down the aisle with this lady. Her dealing with this now is like, really, man?
Right.
You know, and then if it was a petty process, meaning we've been petty the whole way together, like you said, there's so many different variations that we can do with this story, because he's not giving us everything. He's just giving us enough to try to make this ex look bad, which I can't say she looks terrible, because his last sentence lets us know that you didn't handle your business.
Right. Yeah.
Now, that's where we can go. So to answer his first question, or the last question, was paternity and custody.
Take care of
Got to do
business.
that. The next one was how do you get her to move on? You can't move anybody anywhere. But the way that you can help the situation, as we all agree, is to handle your business. And then the last one was what? What's the limit to
time.
what time? How
Yeah.
the hell are you trying to put something on time?
How you can tell her when to stop loving you?
Right.
Leave her alone. That's when she can stop loving you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
see,
You are
stop.
possibly
Thank you.
you are possibly, sir, the father of her child. She may never stop feeling that way. But you can stop these crazy actions by stepping up to the plate.
That's it.
And this is a vicious cycle, man. I promise you, it's a vicious cycle with guys that you see where they think the door is closed with this woman, and then they go move on because this woman may have said, you're done. I'm done with you anyway. But you really know she's not done with you. If we can be transparent, you know it.
Yeah.
And you hold on to that string because every now and again you want to dip your in the cookie
dip your
jar.
tip.
Yeah. So it's like, if you're really serious about it, bruh, cut her off.
Yeah. You know, I wonder how old they are. That age is really popping up for me too.
Super, yeah. Because it sounds like this could be hopefully, because last time what did our therapist James say yesterday? He had a guy come to him that was 50 years old and still was doing this stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I've had some ages.
He said, yeah, because he came to me at 50. Everybody's like, 50?
Yeah, and realized that he wanted to get himself together.
We've had some ages.
Goodness.
50.
Wait a minute. You are 10 years away from.
Say it
You know,
again.
just saying.
Okay, let me see.
Just saying.
Right.
It's all right.
I hope we answered the question.
I hope we did. I think we gave him good advice.
I think so too. But like you said, the theme is take care of your business and don't try to sit here and project this and make it seem like it's somebody else's issue when you aren't doing what you need to do.
I think
And
this
wifey,
is
go sit down.
I think this is a great letter for the week that we chose, closing the tabs.
Well, thank you.
Good job.
Yeah.
Because the theme of the week is for men to identify that they need to start closing the tabs. So yesterday, James said, our mind works like a computer. And even though we may think we've moved on, the back part of our memory is still running. And because we haven't found a compartment to place these things, the tabs are still open. And so we're operating as if everything is cool, but eventually as you keep opening up the tabs, your computer crashes, and computer being us. So this letter is a situation where, brother, I'll be honest with you, as a person who has had to deal with custody issues, that alone is a battle. Now you got a wife, that's another battle, and then an ex, that's 3 battles plus whatever you personally are battling. That's 4. And those are battles. Those are wars, because your marriage is on the line. You got your ex who clearly is not stopping. A baby's always going to be your baby. That's never going to go away. And then personally, whatever you got going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the other part was suffering in silence, which is kind of what we want to talk about today with these vulnerable spaces for men. One, how do we create them? And how do we help men identify that they need it? Because I can go from post to post to post on social media where you see men saying, whenever we're vulnerable, it's used against us. So how can we debunk that ideology? Or what are some things that we can compare apples to oranges with that sentence just alone? Like, somebody's going to use our vulnerability against us.
Yeah. That's it's so big, and it's true.
Mhm.
It is so true. Just different groups I participate in and create
Mhm.
is that I love doing. Like Katrina said, we did an event last night, and it's like when men do show up and they show vulnerability, it's almost like we as women have been taught to say, that ain't true.
Mhm.
No, that ain't true.
Mhm.
And it does stifle a man's voice.
Mhm.
But if you think about it, it starts so young. I think about this all the time when I have young men, even when I have my little boys come in the office for whatever they're coming in for, you hear them say, I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy, right? And just think about a little 3-year-old saying, I'm a big boy. You are creating in these babies' minds that they can't be a child for long. You're not giving them the sense of safety to play. You're not giving them the freedom to just be free, right? Then, especially we're trying to, stick your chest out, do this, right? I remember, I think I was young, probably about 11 years old or something. I had the little cousin was 9. And my aunt used to just tag him in the chest. I'm just making you strong. Now then, these things are acceptable in the community, but as we get older, we're recognizing why are we treating our little boys like this? Why are we creating these barriers? Because that's what it is. You're creating barriers, and then us little girls around them are thinking, oh, they're supposed to be treated like this.
Right.
So it's a misconception of what we see as we're growing up. And then when we become into society, because society doesn't do any better, right? You tell men that they're supposed to be the providers. They're supposed to take it. They're supposed to suffer. And if you're a Black man, you're supposed to just eat it up. So there's just all these different, and I'm just giving you just little bitty tiny pieces.
Just the nuggets.
Right. And just as you just sitting here as a Black man, I bet you that resonated somewhere within you, right? Even if you have the safety of your home, right? You can have a 2-parent home, mother and father, they're doing their best and working with you, whatever. But depending on the age group you come from, that could be a safe space with here. But once you step out of that community, society still is not giving you safety.
Right? Absolutely.
So we're just moving on what we are taught to do. It's big. It's really big. So when my biggest thing is the reason why I had started moving towards men, and I won't lie, just especially our Black men, because these men are coming broken. And it's hard to say you are not broken, you have broken pieces, right? It's a big difference. Don't let them break you, because they feel like they are broken. And most of the time, the only time men come to therapy is because they feel like just take me out of here. Just take me out of here.
And so to speak to that point, from our healing consultant, Varna Spencer, and then from my therapist, James Perkins, they said the same thing. And you are right along path where there's a threshold, and most men only seek that help, be it with her, as when we were talking about her as a nurse and what she has saw. She said most people, by the time they come to me, it's too late. James is saying the same thing. Most of the time when they come to me, it's like SOS. And now here you are saying the same thing again, where by the time they get to me, they have now realized that I'm through. So how can we help before we get to that point? You know what I mean? Because why did I go to my therapist? Because I felt that way. I don't know how to even get what's in my head out. And I'm tired of feeling this way. I was referred to my therapist by a brother who said the same thing. Like, I was just over it. Like, I was ready to turn my car over on the highway. So how do we work before we get to this point? You get what I'm saying? Or like, how do we, I don't even know how, who, what, yada dee dee dee. What did he do? Because as a guy, I'm like, there's so many of us. Like right now, I can literally name 4 friends right now that are in that space.
Okay. And to piggyback off of you, like, even when you're in a relationship and you're seeing it in that man, how do you even tell them without them getting defensive? Or like you said, even from friend to friend, where it's like, what you mean?
You be all right.
Yeah.
That's the common thing amongst men. You be all right, man.
So this
talk to us. Talk to us.
I feel like I need water. No, seriously. this is what I ask. Like, even when I have groups,
Mhm.
I always say, please give us a safe space for men.
Mm-hmm.
Please. Honestly, if I see a man, I give a compliment.
Mhm.
You know how good it feels when somebody say, "Oh, girl, look at you,"
Mm-hmm.
right? Doesn't it feel good if I say, "You know what? You have a beautiful smile. It was
Yeah.
the way you looked at me that made me know that you know it's something."
Mhm.
I don't care what it is. Even the other night we did an experiment to just let the men know that they really mattered in the room.
Mhm.
We have to let our men know that they matter.
Mhm.
Even a look, a smile.
Mhm.
It cracks me up that when I go in certain places, I have had men to say, "It was your smile
Mhm.
that gave me,
Mhm.
happiness." And I'm thinking, was I smiling? But
Yeah.
the funny thing about that is I appreciate the energy that I bring
Mhm.
because I didn't notice I was doing it
Mhm.
because it's so natural now,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Well, I've probably been a fool for a long time, but the truth of the reality is when I started to notice how this was looking among men around me,
Mhm.
I had to start thinking differently too,
Mhm.
because understand I have my own story.
Correct.
And I always want people to understand that, don't fear the therapist because you think they're always psychoanalyzing you.
Right.
It's just a person who has actually took time to educate themselves.
You just brought up a very good point. One of my brothers who I care dearly about, and hopefully you're watching it, his thing is, I don't want them tinkering with my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what he said. I don't want them tinkering with my thoughts. And so when you're talking to somebody who may have that idea, how do you begin to break down those walls to where it's like, nah, I'm not tinkering with your thoughts.
Mhm.
How do you go about that? Or even as a friend, me hearing it,
Yeah.
what would you suggest as far as just that type of conversation?
Well, I really repeat back what they said to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
If you really have a conversation with someone
Mm-hmm.
and you just repeat back to them what they said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not tinkering with your mind. I'm giving you what you gave me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. If I ask you a question and you answer it from your heart, all you're saying is, I need understanding.
Right.
And so I'm repeating back what I understood you said.
Mm-hmm.
What I heard you say is you're struggling
Mhm.
and you need me to hear you.
Mhm.
You don't need me to give you answers. You need me to hear you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing that we have to understand when we're having conversations, especially among men.
Mhm.
Right.
Because most of the time when men are talking,
Mhm.
all they're asking is for a safe space.
Mhm.
They don't need an answer.
Mhm.
They just need somebody to say, I actually heard what you said.
Mhm.
And we as women, because I ain't gonna lie, we as women, but why you do that? Well, I don't understand. And now you closing the door slowly but
Mhm.
surely because all he said was, I'm struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I didn't need you to ask me why I'm struggling because I don't even know why I'm struggling. I'm
Mhm.
struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so it's a big thing when we give a safe space. And
Mhm.
sometimes understanding that this issue we probably don't need to talk about right now because you're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
So how about we deal with this over here and just
Mhm.
give you time with my presence?
Right.
This is the funny thing too that I'm noticing among men.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to have the relationships with each other.
Yes.
The relationship with each other. So I told you I got to write my book. I'm going to publish it.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
We as women, I'm gonna get kind of deep.
Go with it.
We as women have been taught to be with each other.
Mhm.
Yes. Y'all
Even
just
if
did
we
it when
don't-
y'all came in the
yeah,
room.
Mhm.
Even if we don't like each other, we have an understanding on our purpose to be in the room.
Mhm.
This is something historical,
Mhm.
right? Even back in the Roman days and all that.
Mhm.
The concubines, y'all knew y'all place,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, they did.
But it was only one lion in the den.
Mhm.
So what it is when multiple men get together, it's hard for you guys to trust each other because you're trying to figure out what they
Yeah,
want
what's his
from
angle?
what they trying to get.
What's your
Mhm.
angle?
It's that look like they don't want nothing.
What's your angle, bro?
Right?
Yeah.
Now we could be in a room, but both of them sizing each other up.
Yep. Mhm.
They can be like, "What's up, bro?" But ain't gonna never call each other.
Nope.
Right.
And these are the things that working with each other,
Mm-hmm.
also being safe within yourself gives you safety to be with another man.
You know what's funny? You saying that, and also you talking to me about like calling my friends more often. A lot of times we just call on as need basis.
Right.
It ain't so much just like, I'm just checking on you or da da da. It's just like, you good? Yeah, I'm good. Okay, all right, I'll talk to you later.
That's
you know what I'm
it.
saying? And then or we're going somewhere and it's like, okay, where are we going? And it's a specific destination and that's it. But it's never just, like you said, just on some old chill type.
Yeah.
So people be like, man, what am I on the phone with him for like that? You know what I mean?
You do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, they're just calling a check on you. You're like,
Right.
why?
Yeah, for what?
Right. So it's about being intentional, right?
Yeah.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
I matter of fact, I ask that every man that is watching just check up on a friend intentionally.
I know that's right.
Intentionally.
Mhm.
How you doing? Because this is the thing that I really want you guys to understand. More of our men, and when I say this, I'm really speaking more to our Black men, think about suicide on a daily basis than you'll ever know.
That was a statistic that I found. We're still behind white men as far as suicide, but the difference is like less than 2%.
Yikes.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's very scary. You know what? Same knowledge of that statistic. My fear with that, even though it's a 2% difference, understand it's because we weren't taught in our community that's okay.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
Mhm.
Because if we took out what we were taught in our community, it would be higher and higher rates of them doing it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's scary, because we are only moving on what historical things have taught us. And that's even slave times that we're still moving, because you guys, we're not that far.
Right.
Not at all.
Right.
We're not that far.
Right.
So we're still moving on a slave mentality and we're still fighting to get out of that. You know, can I tell you a story?
Absolutely.
I had a male friend of mine just struggling one day, just wondering about his son. And he was like, you know, I don't know what's going on with him. He don't like girls. You know, I don't know, but he's smart. And I mean, he's sizing his son up. And I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with your baby.
Nothing.
Nothing wrong with your baby. So after having the conversation with him, and I was so happy that he trusted me to have this intimate conversation, I let him know, I said, based on your history, you fought to give your child a safe environment. And I said, all he is doing is moving in his safe space.
Yeah.
We have to give our kids the safe space. And as men, we have to give our little boys a safe space. Your child, he has a goal. Nobody had to say, how many women you sleeping with? You know, they got 16, you got your little male buddies coming up there. How many girls how many bodies you got?
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
And so you're implanting in their mind that they're supposed to be doing something. So what they do, they start going have sex, right? You sending them out there to the wolves. Now we got stories like the letter, right?
Yeah.
So in that, I saw his eyes light up and he said, I did fight for my son because nobody fought for me. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, let's look at even our friends and see the little boy in our friends and talk to the little boy that's still living inside, because you men are wanting and needing a safe space.
Yes.
You're fighting for your kids, but you're not fighting for yourselves.
Right. Right.
So as you fight for your kids, for their safe space, do that for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm asking the women, we got to do that too, because I know our mouths be out there, you know, but the one thing we do have is we have sisterhood. Like, I know I don't know you, but I bet you can still feel me.
Yeah. And do.
Yeah. And I want you guys to do the same thing. I really do. Like, we can go and we can just love on our sisters.
Right.
Hugs, and it's genuine.
Right.
But again, helping you to soften the fact that he don't need nothing I got.
Right.
I don't need nothing he got. And so
Right.
once you guys kind of let that down, now people out here ain't right. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, everybody
Said
don't
it ain't
need
for
no-
everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, really use your wisdom, use your spirit
Right.
of discernment.
Yes.
You know, and just kind of pay attention. That brother probably need just, hey, you doing good.
Yeah.
You never know, it might be that last straw.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
And I've started to discover that with friends now. And you know, we've talked about some of the friends where I didn't know what role I played to them because we never talked about it. You know what I'm saying? But then people will later come back around when they reach that threshold, like, man, I just needed that conversation. He's like, bro, I didn't know, my fault. Like, you know what I mean? And so I would like for us to do that, because one of the things that one of the young ladies, our sex therapist, said, right, sitting in this very seat, was like, well, create the space for y'all. Because I always get those when those two get together, the sex therapist, and they just click, fingernails, click, 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 dot, 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 dot. And I'm just over there like,
And you're gonna have to hook me up with her because you know I do sex addiction and sex therapy. So I love
She'll be here Friday.
got to. Oh yeah. We can talk.
So, but we don't do that with each other. So like I'm over there observing them, and then she was like, "Well, then you need to create your safe space." I'm like, I don't even know what that looks like.
Right.
I don't know what it would be to create that for fellas. You know what I'm saying? Because for most of us, it's like, man, I'm at the crib, I'm cool, I'm chilling.
Mhm.
Why do I want to come into this space with you or conversation with you? And for some of us, how do we initiate that conversation?
So
without making them feel like weak. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's going to take time, but the more we have conversations like this,
Mhm.
it happens. So what I did, and I actually planned on doing it this month. I've been a little lackadaisical, but what I did in November for men is I gave them a 2-part series of just free sessions, and I gave a nice group, and about 11 men showed up.
Oh,
and it was in a cohort type of deal. So whoever came on that first session, they were automatically welcome to the second session, because we have to build, first of all, unity. Because again, men, I'm gonna say it like this: men are scared of other men.
Yes.
They are. And it's hard to say, I'm going to give you my truth without you using that against me in some kind of way. So that was beautiful. And I gave them 2 hours, but they took 3. Cracked me up, but I was there, right? Gave them little toys. Just watching grown men even play with a toy, pulling it back, letting it run. But just think the little boy
That inner boy,
it started coming out of them. And I can tell you which little boy came out of each of those men. And about 30 minutes in, after they done sized me up, because you also gotta say what's in the room. Because I think I'm a cute chick. You know what I mean?
And is.
So I had to say, I know I'm cute. I know y'all sizing me up, But once you also call things out, now it's not planted back here. It's out in the atmosphere. So now they can listen to me and they can hear what I'm saying. So we talked about the issues. We talked about trauma within the home. We talked about not having a father in the home. We talked about drugs. We talked about time spent in prison. We talked about suicidal ideation. And the relationship started because we started to talk about it in a safe space.
Yeah.
These same men, when it was time to go, still start talking to each other. They still asked for each other's number, and they still talked and wanted to catch up with each other. One man even was actually open and honest, who told us how he tried and attempted suicide twice. So these things have to be talked about. The next week, they all came back. I take it back. One didn't, two of them didn't, but they called the group and apologized. And 2 other men wanted to come in, and I asked the group, because I said, hey, we don't know them. Is this a safe space? They welcomed them. They welcomed them. So it's about creating spaces for these men. And the more we start doing things like this, it starts to be okay. It's going to take a minute because we created it. So you got to break it down.
So you mentioned something earlier, and I wrote it down, that grief is not just physical loss. And we have a friend who is also a therapist, Lena, who on a podcast before said she's she works with athletes specifically. And she was explaining that for athletes, when they are done and retired with football, that is a form of grief for them, because now they don't know what else. There's a loss, or if an injury takes them out of the game, it's a form of grief. How do we start to have those safe conversations, or what do we talk about to get people to acknowledge that some of these things that we are taking and putting on our shoulders is actual grief, trauma, and hurt? Like, so for example, we could talk about a person who's lost their job, and then now you're at home, but that loss is now wearing on you and you're suffering in silence. Like, what is some advice in that arena where loss is grief? What is some advice to give to brothers in that space?
Okay. I guess it's hard to say what's the advice, because you don't know when people are suffering. So there's really no advice. It's paying attention.
Okay.
It's really paying attention, because most people don't say, I'm over here suffering, because when you see them, they smiling, right? When you call the phone, they answer in a certain way. So people learn how to mask grief. The biggest thing is paying attention to what happened and asking them genuinely, how you doing? I know that was hard for you. right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so many different. Think about people who have retired from the military.
Mm-hmm.
That's a grief.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All they know is the military. Just think about a young man that went into the military at 18 and now he didn't retired at 50. People are like, oh, you didn't did that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all he knows.
Mm-hmm.
You have a military man coming into civilian life.
Mm-hmm.
That's grief,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have, let's talk about someone who's barren,
Mm-hmm.
a man who cannot have kids.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Come on now, right? I can't plant my seed.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to acknowledge the things that are big elephants in the room.
Mm-hmm.
It's about acknowledging. I think we are so good at don't say nothing. You know
Right.
good and well they don't know. You know,
Mhm.
and that again taught behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you go over there and ask for no food,
Right.
but you hungry.
But you hungry.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So these are things that out of taught behavior, we keep moving in these ways. So it's really now let's start acknowledging the things that we know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mhm.
That's the one thing about this young generation. They get on my nerves, but they got a lot of things right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They ready to fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
And they get it out. They want
do.
you to hear how they feel.
They
Mhm.
do. So they're ready.
Mm-hmm.
They're really ready. I will not lie. I think a lot of my younger generation of men will come in a lot quicker than the older
Mm-hmm.
because they're ready to talk.
Mhm.
Yes.
They know
Yes.
that something's up.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes.
They'll come in here and tell me how mad they are about this or that. And it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that they actually know that they have a voice. So this is a funny thing. We've done something right
Mm-hmm.
because we provided for them, but we forgot about us.
Right.
What you saying that, and it just clicked. What did I tell you every Monday when I was coaching? Every Monday with my football team, we didn't practice.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I just called it "Let It Out Monday," and I
Mhm.
didn't care if they cussed. I didn't care if they fussed. Whatever it was that was on their mind, tell me,
Yeah.
because maybe we can help. And literally, that was the coaches would join in and let give vulnerabilities of things so that we could relate with them to tell them that we've been through it too.
Mm-hmm.
But then what you just said is true. Then the coaches themselves, though, yeah, we ain't do that for each other.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We did it for the kids, and it was great. Like these kids have a bond that I think still lasts to this day.
Baby.
But
Yeah.
the coaches, yeah, no, we ain't do that for them.
Mhm.
After it was over, everybody went home.
See, now y'all still them left, and y'all over here like
Exactly.
man, anxiety and depression, and then the kids
High
are
blood
fi-
pressure and everything.
Right.
Now you tell them a business.
And you're looking crazy. Like,
Now nobody needs to know that I'm out here on high blood pressure pills. See, I'm walking and I'm talking now. I'm fixing it.
He said, "I'm willing."
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
able."
fixing it now. I'm fixing it. I got a therapist and everything,
So
But
I have a question because we have him that's on one spectrum, and then we have a lot of guys that are on the other spectrum where
Yeah.
I've dealt with two different types. One where every time we talked, it was like, oh my gosh, you are unleashing so much on me, and I don't know how much more of this I can take because it's very heavy information.
Mhm.
But I'm appreciative of the fact that you trust me with this and that
Yeah.
you can be vulnerable, but it's a lot.
Mhm.
Then you have on the other side where something's wrong. This person is showing signs that there's something's wrong. You're in a relationship, but they're not talking.
Mhm.
How do you deal with those two? Because I'm pretty sure there are a lot of women in relationships with those two men where it's like the one's constantly dumping, and the one that's just like, nope,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah. Y'all got some good questions.
Oh, well, thank you.
Y'all do. I hope your audience is happy with my answers because I'm like, y'all testing my grades on this piece. Stop. Y'all testing.
Yeah.
Y'all testing.
when
I
they
hope
get
I'm
quiet,
giving
they're
good-
listening. Now I'm looking at the comment section, but everybody's quiet because
Okay.
when we touch a nerve, they don't talk. Now as
love
long as we
it.
cutting up,
Yeah.
then it'll just float.
Love
The moment
it.
we get serious, everybody's like,
But then they'll say it's good information.
Yeah.
That's first of all a great question because you're right. The funny thing is when men do talk like that, they found something safe.
Mm-hmm.
And it is overwhelming. It's
Mhm.
overwhelming to us. I will not lie. That it's like, wow, you have to go talk to somebody about
Yes.
that. And it's not a disrespect in saying be quiet. It's
Mhm.
like there's no way that you can give me all of that because now you're depleting me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. And like you said, you felt that heaviness. And it's like, you know what? I love you that much. Let's go together.
Mm-hmm.
There's times where how you just, I'm just trying to think about an example where your child comes to you And depending on how that safety is, they're like, I know this is a safe space, but once you do something, they're like, okay, maybe it's not.
They draw back.
Maybe it's not, right? So that's the point where you say, you know what, baby, I got you. We about to walk through this together. And it's hard for us. I won't lie. It's hard, but it's the sincerity behind wanting someone to get well. So we about to look for some people. I've literally had couples to call me to say it's not for me, but I wanted to bring my significant other because it's a safe space, you know. And then you have the men that are quiet. Again, men are not taught to be seen. They're just not. You know, I wish I knew the answers, but they're just not, honestly. So I always go back to slave time because I be really sitting here thinking about when I'm by myself, I be thinking.
No, that's right.
I be thinking. I'm like, dang, they said what today? Think about it like this, right? This is definitely well past slave times and all that. But if we really be honest about us as a community within ourselves, just Black and brown people, how life is presented even back then. You got the big stocky man, right? And then you bottom off the block. Then you got these women. All you were doing was just creating,
just breathing.
Right? There you go. So you had this man sleeping with 3 different women, and all you're doing is breeding. So coming out of slave mentality, now understand they still wanted to build, families and all that, but you took the connection. So these things were still coming out of slavery with the mentality. All it is I'm only made to produce. I'm not supposed to talk. I'm not supposed to show up. I'm not supposed to do anything but just be what it is. So even when you think about sports right now, right? We put our little boys in all these sports and things like that, but you still haven't gave them a safe space. So I'm so happy what you did with the boys the other day, right? But you're still telling them this is all you're worth. They're supposed to bring you money and sex, money and sex. And if they can't do one or the other, they feel worthless. They feel worthless. You see what I'm saying? So there's so many elements, and I'm only giving you little bitty trinkets, but there's so many elements to why these quiet voices are within men, because they feel like they don't have anything to talk about because who's listening? We have to give platforms for them to be heard. There's so much more given in what they think, what they do, how they do it. When I tell you, I love my Black men.
Yes, ma'am.
I love them. I think about all the people along my way, my father, my brothers, my cousins, all this. There's no way I'm going to give up on them. So I work hard on these spaces. And when you ask, what is the advice? There's no advice. You go with your heart. You listen and pay attention. Give the room. If you see it, call it out, right? So as you said, when you calling on your friends, really call them. Hey, do what you're up to. All right, I'll holler at you later. No, for real, what you doing? What you doing? You don't even sound right today.
Right.
I mean, really, key, you don't sound right. You really don't. Talk to me.
Cool.
All right, well, if you don't want to talk today, holler at me tomorrow. And really call them tomorrow. You just never know what people are going through. So.
You had said the connection. And do you feel personally, we as Black people have a different connection where like this digital world is diluting us, and like of course in general, but as you said, like coming up slave times and then getting out of that and then having the fact that we only got our community to depend on and down the road, but now we can just swipe. So now our conversations have turned into, well, what do you bring? And as you were saying, there's no conversation.
We can have a whole show.
What do you bring to the table? And that seems to be the only thing that is allowing connection to happen now.
I was asked that question 3 times this week.
What do you bring to the table?
No, and what do you do?
Serious?
What do you do?
So what do we do about what do you do?
Like I don't even know. I just tell people when they ask me, I'm like, I talk to people. I don't know what I do. I don't know. I listen.
I know that's right.
Because before you answer, one question I had was to the healing consultant. I asked her, do you see us getting back? We had a different connection at a certain point in time, and you saw it. It was very visible in our community, in our music. You could see it. How do we get back to that? And as men, how do we work with our children, our women to ignite that? You know what I mean? Because it seems like they're on this side, we're on this side, and everybody's just fighting in the middle. What do you see?
Oh, y'all, I hate social media.
Mhm.
I do. And that's my truth.
Mhm.
I'm not a big TV watcher. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't like it, but I don't like it
Mhm.
because you can take some things that are meant for good, and baby, if it's a way to get in there to use for bad, it will be used for
Mhm.
bad, right? So it's scary. I actually had met a guy, and he was upset because I didn't want him to have my Facebook page because I'm
Yeah.
sitting here talking to you. Why
What
you
more
gotta
do you
be on my
want?
page, right? So I said, I'm going to give him the page because I'm gonna see what he do with it. And of course, what he did was he just swiped on, and then he started asking me about things on my page. And I said, well, you could have asked me about those things, right?
Thank you.
So of course, I just had to go in and delete them.
Did you exhale right there, my nigga?
Yeah, you know, right. He going to delete
Damn
you.
it.
Wow.
We can't converse right here.
Right. So you feeling this? Yeah.
I'm right here with you. Hallelujah. But it made me sad because just like you said, a 50-year-old man, same thing, 50-year-old man that needs this connection on the phone because now you comfortable sitting on the couch paying attention to what's going on without even saying, hey, let's go out.
Right.
Social media at this point has allowed us to feel like we're doing something, and it keeps us stagnant instead of getting back outside. Oh my God, when they say we outside, ain't nobody outside. They just take a picture. We outside, you ain't inside. You know,
You're not actually in the moment.
not at all. We need to go back to when the TV went off and you said the Pledge of Allegiance and you went to bed. People don't do it. I understand everybody's not going to sleep at 9. We got all these different schedules and people work overnight. But to me, it's just breaking down our mental capacity to think. We can't think past go anymore.
Right.
You know, we can't stay focused on anything too long. And it's really studies that are showing that this is breaking down the way we think and the way we focus. Our focus cannot stay here at all.
Watch something about that where this woman, she was a doctor. She was urging and begging parents to stop allowing kids to watch reels because it causes them to just and they can't sit down. So when it's time to sit down and really focus in, they're just used to clips. And she was just begging. She was, giving the correlation of, if they are attached to a phone and a tablet and everything is giving them information in 30 seconds or a minute or less, then how are you going to parent that? Because you need them to pay attention. Yeah. They don't have any attention span.
And you don't even see kids sit down with books anymore.
Not at all. Not at all. Let me give you some information. So I told you that I'm a sex therapist and sex addiction therapist. So let me give you how this reels even go. Even with porn. Right.
We talked about it yesterday. Yes.
Think about how powerful porn is, because this is where you're going with social media. It begins to be your truth, because now that's my truth. So I have different levels of a sex addict. I have those individuals who are usually of the older age that they're just addicted to porn and sex because there's trauma. This is trauma driven. Like any other addiction, it's a trauma driven behavior. But these younger, not all, but all this younger age generation who are watching porn at young ages, now it's set in their mind because, oh my God, this is real, right? And so now their bodies are trying to basically perform what the act is of porn. And now it's a different type of addiction because they can't even get their serotonin levels to move because, wait a minute, you're supposed to do this.
It's supposed to look like this.
That's why I said with even the sexual addictions and this piece, they're struggling all over. So when I say that social media is killing us, it's killing us even in the reproduction area. So that's really why I try to really say we have to focus on things that we are looking over, honey. We are looking over them because I'm trying to teach people how to have sexual healthy sexual behaviors and get out of these areas of addictive behaviors. And then when I talk about, like I said, men and sex, we put them together so often, and I said they're not. They're not, because more men who are really becoming healthier realize I don't want sex. I want a safe, peaceful space. And what women want is I want to feel secure. So once we be healed within ourselves, we then come together, and now we can have these safe, intimate spaces. And here we go again. We're no longer grieving things of loss. So all of it's connected. You know, I didn't just throw these things together and say, I want to work on this. What happened was I really started throughout, like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years, paying attention to people. And I started with people can't attach to each other. They don't know how to be intimate with each other. And now all of a sudden they're grieving the fact that I don't even know how to talk to my mother, my brother, my son, my teacher, my pastor, right? Now what do? They start sneaking off, and now I'm having sex because I can touch you, but I don't want to be with you, right? We're getting in unhealthy behaviors, and now I'm addicted to the fact that when I'm coming, right? I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Feelings just cut.
And I feel emptier now than I did then. And now I'm trying to get that same feeling I felt before, and it's addicted.
Right.
So there's all these pieces to the puzzle. So I know you asked me about social media, but this is what I'm saying. We are so detached, and all we're doing is fighting for what we see, and we're just not ready to stay focused on what we need.
And that goes into what I was telling you, like when I'm on these apps, and I know that, you know, we joke about it, but I'm literally having the hardest time finding men that just talk, you know, because like you said, everything's like this. I need answers. What do you do? How long have you done it? What's wrong with you? What's going on? Like, talk to me. Like you said, don't go on my Instagram, don't go on my Facebook. Let's just talk.
That's it.
So I'll ask questions, and it's like they don't know how to answer it. Not all of them. They won't know how to answer it, or they don't know how to turn the conversation around to where it's like, well, tell me about you. Or blah, 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 blah.
Right.
It's like very cavemanish, you know? And I'm like,
sheets. What type of sheets you got? Blankets. I get cold. I'm like, what the hell?
But it's true. And it's scary because I'm like, as someone who enjoys having conversation when I feel like it, because, you know, I'm an introvert, but who enjoys having deep conversation, and someone who reads and listens to music and, you know, watches different types of programming and stuff like that makes you think. I am. Because you tell me about a documentary, I'm like, let's talk about it. You know, right? I get excited. You know, it's so hard finding, you know, anyone now, and I'm not even going to say even just men, even some women, where you just sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Because everything is 30 seconds, 60 seconds, you know, 20 seconds.
90
whatever.
at the most.
Yeah. And it's so scary. I'm like,
because it's easier to swipe left than swipe right.
Yeah.
It really is. It's easy to say, oh, I got more choices.
Right.
And that's what it is. It's about now you see choices. Just like with TV. Let's be honest. We only have 5, 4, 9, 9.
Hello.
If you think about it, but now we have choices.
Man,
And
big
that's just,
choices.
that's life.
And
That's
you
like
stream here or stream here or stream there, or have all the streaming packages. It's a lot.
Yeah. So if you really think about even how we live in our life, it's just like the TV. It's choices. And that's what really social media is doing for us. It's actually taking away the choice if you look at it in a different way. That's what's happening.
I don't want to end this, but
that just means you have to come back.
Yeah, I was about to say. So we got to figure out how to make this a regular thing. That was.
Would you come back?
I was gonna say, hopefully you
definitely.
enjoyed the conversation.
Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, did they like me? I mean, you know, no, I definitely would. I would love to.
Cool.
I would love to.
Cool. Because it's I'm sorry, it's 8:50, almost 8:15. Okay, so we went over time. That's okay though.
But I appreciate y'all for sticking with us.
I know. I'm excited about that.
So in closing, like with the vulnerable space and just men, what would you say? What would be your final soliloquy to men to close out the show in reference to just safe spaces and communication with others?
That's a powerful question. I really truly ask you men to think about your health. You matter. You matter to me, and I don't even know you, but you matter. And as long as you start thinking about who am I am worthy. I mean somebody. I mean something to someone. I'm someone's son. I'm someone's husband. You know, present. If we ask more questions, honestly, real questions, and allow people to just feel what they feel and not block and have barricades, oh my God, how far we would get.
Mhm.
You know, we do it for our women. Let's just do it for our brothers.
And we're gonna keep working on that for the rest of this month. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can get you back. And
Yeah.
we'll talk about that once we get done with the show. And tomorrow we have
our sex educator will be in the building.
and so we'll be talking. Did she give you her topic yet?
She did not.
Okay, that's okay. That's all right. So God willing, tomorrow we'll be back with the foolishness, and hopefully you enjoyed everything. And to be able to rewatch anything that you've seen, just go ahead to our YouTube channel, TDS Media.
Yes.
And
no, we're TDS Radio now. I changed it.
You changed it?
Yeah. our
Okay,
handle's
so
TDS Radio.
TDS Radio, just go ahead and check us out. You can see all of everything that was happening today, and then go check out James. This is free therapy that y'all was getting, so y'all can pick up them little nuggets that was being dropped. Go
I'm
ahead.
dropping this episode on my dating profile. Go watch that, then come talk to me.
Damn. Well, all right. Well, all right. People
Give me
are
something to talk about.
People are giving you a round of applause and saying thank you. So we
Oh,
definitely have
thank
to
you.
have you back again. And yeah, so then tomorrow, see you. Tomorrow's what? Friday?
Yes.
We made it.
Yeah.
Friday.
It was a rough.
Let's
rough
get
beginning.
this week was weekend.
This was a rough week.
This
I
week was
almost
weekend.
didn't make it. I need a therapist. I do.
So
Thank
God
you.
willing, tomorrow we'll see you again. This is TDS Radio. Peace.